Do you have piles of Christmas paper that you really want to get used? Hi, I'm Jess from JessCrafts.com and I'm here to help you make the most of your crafty supplies and time. So let's get making. Today I want to take some paper from a Christmas collection and use it on non-Christmas cards. It is July, so we could do Christmas in July, but that's not my idea today. My idea is to pull out that Christmas stash still. Maybe you even have it out because you are doing some Christmas in July, but make some non-Christmas cards. We all only need so many Christmas cards. So today I'm going to take the Merry Pattern collection from scrapbook.com and I'm going to find some of the least Christmassy papers in it and use those for other cards. I am using 6x8 paper busting template for 5x7 cards, number 8, which means there are 7 other ones available at jesscrafts.com. And if you like this sketch but you don't make 5x7 cards, there is a very similar sketch, 6x8 paper busting template number 5 for A2 cards. So I'll link both of those in the video description, but this is a new one and it's going to be the first link in the video description. I knew I wanted some red patterned paper, and I actually thought, well, Christmas paper often has red in it, but not all papers in the pack have to be for Christmas. Now, in this particular pack, I have a lot of situations where like one side is pretty wintry or Christmas and the other side is less so. I don't know if I found a single paper where I'd say neither side is Christmassy. This one's probably the best one. The colors and the red and there's the red with the blue. You know, we could probably make it work if we really decked it out. So I think that would be a great one too. You know what? Let's do it. I was gonna use the red. I was in a red mood, but I think it's better to show you how to make a paper that, you know, definitely leans a little more Christmassy, because I was being kind of safe before. I was gonna say, I'm not gonna use these stars on the back, they're too Christmassy, or I use this paper with the trees and I had to just ignore the other side. But let's go with this one that, you know, maybe does lean Christmassy and see if our final result is good enough. You can tell me if at the end, I mean, maybe it's gonna be hard because you guys know it came from a Christmas paper pad, but maybe someone who doesn't know it came from a Christmas paper pad, you know, go show somebody who didn't watch the video, see if they think I pulled it off or not. Okay, so we're gonna cut it according to the template. The template says we need 2 3x4 squares, and then we take that second chunk of 3x4 paper, and we're gonna cut it in half and in half again, so in quarters, to 1.5 by 2 inches. And then we are gonna cut some cardstock mats for this, and we'll make them 1/4 inch bigger. So I think that one way we're gonna keep this from being too Christmassy is to make sure we don't pull in any extra Christmas colors when we go ahead and pull our mats in. So no red or green for those colors. Oh, I gotta focus. I don't wanna cut that paper wrong. All right, so we have our 5 pieces for each card, 4 little pieces, and then that one larger focal point piece. My wondering, I think the way to do this is, because to me, I actually think the stripes look slightly more Christmassy than the stars. I think I'll use the star side for my like focal point and this one for my edges, just so they're a little bit less like noticeable. And so let's get some mats. This set of colors would totally be my jam at Christmas time too. I would pick red cardstock and really have this like pull out that red aqua theme. I think that would be really fun for Christmas. And so I do really love that Merry Pattern collection for Christmas cards. I believe I've used it already on Christmas cards. I'm sure I'll use it again for that. But like I said, I made these mats 1/4 inch bigger. And so for 1.5, that would be 1 3/4 by 2 1/4. So 1/4 inch bigger on both sides. And then that'll give you about 1/8 of an inch border around it. I just kind of eyeball these things when I place them down. You could do a little bit more measuring if that's your jam. Okay, and then the star side, so we flip it over and we'll make this our center focal point. Now, I think another thing I'm going to do to kind of tone down the Christmas is adjust my sketch a little bit. My sketches are always kind of meant as a jumping off point. Like this is how, you know, definitely cut the paper if you don't want any scraps according to the directions. But then in terms of how you arrange it, always feel free to move things around a little bit. So here I'd put them all the way up in the corners. I think I was just kind of looking to fill the space. And I kind of wish they were pulled in a little bit. So that's what I'm gonna do this time. And I think that means I'll cover up a little bit more of that stripy paper. And again, tone down that possible Christmas look. And nice thing about using tape runner, whether it's an ATG like I have or something else, is that you can tape all your pieces without having to worry about them drying in between, like sometimes happens with liquid glue. And if you are gentle when you place it down, you can peel it back up really easily without affecting your card. So you can, try to get that, like I'm trying to make sure these are lined up here and these are lined up across, but also with the top. So I don't, until I put some pressure on it, I can peel them up, and that's kind of nice. Okay, so here, this goes in the center, but there's a large area in between that's basically unsupported. It's gonna be kind of supported here in the corners, and then what I'll usually do in that case is take a random scrap of paper that usually is something I've created while I was cutting my cardstock mats. Sometimes I'll cut it, other times I'm just gonna tear it because I'm lazy. And then place that down there in the center. And then we've covered up a good amount of those stripes, and we're ready to embellish our card. Have you guys seen/heard about the new Spellbinders Scout machine? I have a Spellbinders, and mine's actually the scrapbook.com Spellbinders exclusive, Platinum 6. And I love my Spellbinders machine, but they came out with a Scout, which is like a smaller version of the machine, and I think it's, meant for smaller space or lighter to carry. I personally am very happy with having a larger machine. It suits all my needs, right? But if you are more of a portable crafter, maybe this is a good fit for you. But they came out with a set of dies that are also kind of like keeping in mind the smaller size of the Scout, and you'll know they'll fit through, whereas some larger dies might not. And so these are some of the ones I'm going to share today. Spellbinders sent me these dies in exchange for sharing them in a video. So to be super clear about that, I have the Roller Disco Dottie. So it's this cute little Dalmatian, and Spellbinders has done something I really love where they've made it easy that, so instead of having to fill in all these little dots individually, they've provided you a second piece. So instead of cutting out the dog twice and fitting the little black dots in there, I have this larger die cut piece that after I put some glue around those dots, I'm going to be able to place this down and cover up all those dots. And then I have the spotted Dalmatian dog without all the fussy effort of putting those dots back in. Now this Roller Disco Doggy, he can have little roller skates on. But again, Spellbinders, I'm telling you, they're really like this, dies are what they do, and they really think about the consumer and making dies like really easy to use. So not only do they put all 4 roller skates and all 4 boots and the collar on like one die so that you can then, cut them all out at once and you're not fiddling with little tiny dies. They also made it so that the roller skates aren't attached to the boot, and that gives you more versatility. So you can have just the dog. You can have the dog with little galoshes on him or rain boots, or you can have him all the way with the roller skates. And so that's like 3 levels of look. I think that's really smart. The ear and nose are also on the same die, so you can cut them out without having to worry about losing those tiny dies. Because if you guys know me, I have videos about like how to do intricate die cutting for lazy people or lazy crafters. And I only say lazy because I'm calling myself lazy. I'm not calling anyone else lazy in that scenario. Just, and everyone in the video is like, it's just smart, and I'm with you, but it was just a funny little name for the video. But anyway, I have tips for like what you can do if you don't like all the teeny tiny dies when you are card making. So I'm going to leave that in the video description so you can check that out. I think it also features some Spellbinders dies because again, they're really smart about how they make their dies. They're really consumer friendly. And then there's this Hello and Smile, which if you are, you're just new to die cutting, having some basic words can be great. So somebody, you know, just first diving into die cutting with that Scout machine might really enjoy having a simple hello and smile sentiment that you can use. And then you cut out the hello and smile, or sorry, the hello and its outline out of 2 different colors of cardstock, and you can glue them back in place. So let me know in the comments, do you think I achieved my goal of turning a Christmas paper into a non-Christmas card successfully, or does it look like I just have a random dog on my Christmas card? I mean, you could put a Santa hat on him. We can make this die into Christmas, and that would be great too. If you found this video helpful, here's another video where you can find more ideas for enjoying your crafty time and supplies. Let me know you like this video with a share to your crafty community, subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss the next template or tutorial, and check the video description for product links. See you in the next video.